one of the most common questions I get is, hey, what songs would you recommend I use to learn English? What's the best way to use music to learn English? Now, at first, I would just like to say, I will not tell you that you cannot learn English with music, okay? I wouldn't say that. But I will say, in my opinion as an English teacher, it is not a great way to learn English, and I want to explain why, and I want to explain why movies and books are much, much better. Much better. Honestly, I don't think music is a good English learning tool at all. Not even a little bit. Again, I don't want to tell you what to do. I'm not your mom, right? You can do whatever you want to do. If you like music, that's great. I like music too. But I want to talk about why it is that it's not a great English learning tool. And there are two main reasons, okay? Number one, when you're listening to music, the melody is often moving so quickly, and the lyrics are often moving so quickly that it's hard to hear. So one is just a simple listening reason, okay? There's not much context there, and the lyrics are just flying by. So that's one basic reason. But the more important reason is that when you write music as a musician, when you write music as a musician, you're not writing English as you speak English. You're writing English as a poet. Now, a poet writes very sort of abstract sounding English, writes English so that it rhymes and fits into a certain pattern, but nobody speaks that way. And in fact, what's the point of poetry? Well, one of the characteristics of poetry is that there is an aspect of interpretation to it, right? That means when you listen to this song, you get something out of it, and I get something out of it, and what we get out of it, or what we understand the lyrics are the words of a song, what we understand the lyrics to mean are two different things. That's the nature of poetry. That's the nature of song lyrics. And that's great. That's what it's for, right? It gives me a feeling of, I understand this musician, or this musician understands me. Okay, good. But is that a good English learning tool? Well, I would say no, because people don't really speak like that. And also, what you're learning, maybe good words here and there, are serving the purpose of poetry and rhyming, not serving the purpose of communicating clearly, right? When we learn English, we should learn things that help us communicate more clearly. If nobody speaks like a singer speaks or sings in a song, then why should we learn that? All right? That's really the main reason here. Okay? Music is poetry, not normal speech. That's the simple fact. Okay? We're going to look at some examples here. I want to kind of prove it to you. And I don't want to tell you not to listen to music, but it would be hard to learn English from something like, for example, this. Okay, I'm losing my edge to the art school Brooklynites in little jackets and borrowed nostalgia for the unremembered 80s. Now, first of all, what the heck does this mean? I don't know. I don't know what it means. So often the meaning is buried deep inside of the lyrics because the singer, the songwriter wants you to think about it, wants you to make something of it for yourself. That's good. But when I read that, if you said that to me on the street, I would say, what are you talking about? I don't understand anything you just said. Now, we can learn some individual words from this. We might say, okay, what is a Brooklynite? Someone from Brooklyn, okay. We might say, what is a nostalgia? What is the meaning of nostalgia? Oh, it's that feeling that we get when we look back at the past and we feel warm and fuzzy inside, but also a little sad when we remember, for example, the 80s. Okay, but just this whole thing together as a song is just kind of weird, and nobody would speak like this. All right. Now, how about this one? You, one that I dream about all day. You, one that I think about always. Now, notice that there is that all day, always, all day, always. There is that rhyming there. There is sort of a rhythm that repeats itself that sounds really good in music. That's actually a good song, right? Well, I think it's a good song. It's very subjective. But I wouldn't recommend that as a thing to learn English from. I wouldn't recommend anybody speaks like that because people don't speak like that exactly. They don't speak in rhythm. They don't speak in rhyme. Okay, so that's the idea. One more. I never lived before your love. I never felt before your touch, and I never needed anyone to make me feel alive. But then again, I wasn't really living. Now, this sounds more like prose or regular writing and less like poetry. It's getting closer, but still, it sounds very formal. It sounds like something that's in sort of older literature. It sounds like a love poem, maybe. So it's still weird, and you'd have to kind of work hard to pick out any normal English from that. Even that, which is closer toward spoken English, is still not close enough. So why would you go through all of that hard work of trying to drag meaning out of something that is sort of serving another purpose, which is to give you a feeling about something or make you feel good or understand something deeper? Why would you go through all of that hard work when you could just read a book and read dialogue in a book, right? Or when you could just watch a movie or a TV show, a documentary, and people are talking to each other. You could just do that. And if you do that, you're getting at least close to natural speech. So just do that. Okay, so again, listen to music. Music is great. Music is wonderful. Fantastic. Is it a good English learning tool? My opinion. And for the reasons I just talked about, no. That is my advice. Okay? By the way, if you guys haven't already, make sure you hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Check out my courses in the links in the description. If you have any questions about this, let me know in the comments. Okay?